I'm going to build a $5,000 crypto portfolio with my own money. While you at home watch over my shoulder, I'm going to take you through exactly all the coins that I'm going to put into this portfolio. And I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to be able to avoid doing stupid things like panic selling and FOMOing into different coins. I'm also going to tell you new tips and tricks on how to avoid paying high fees and how to basically start from scratch in 25 minutes so that we can maximize our opportunity that we've got in the next 24 months, because it's going to be absolutely life-changing if we get this right. So do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Now, guys, we need to understand where we are in this market right now before we get into the juicy nuts and bolts, which is going to be very important. But this is the blockchaincenter.net, a rather dramatic looking rainbow telling us the rise in the price of Bitcoin that's going to be happening over the next few years. And as you can see, every time we go into the dark blue bit at the bottom, we eventually get up to one of the dark red bits at the top. Now, if we get to the orangey red bit, you know, somewhere after the kind of halving line, then you're looking at around 187,000 up to a top of maybe $330,000. Do I know where it's going to go? No. Does anyone know where it's going to go? No. Do they tell you where it's going to go? They think they might know, but no one knows, okay? But one thing we do know is at some point in the next 2 years, it's going to be significantly higher than where it is now. And that's true for most cryptocurrencies. And that's ultimately what we got to do, okay? You can't fuck this up, guys. Actually, it's very straightforward and very easy. And what I'm going to do is teach you to build something we can set and forget. And then hopefully in a couple of years, when that little egg is hatched, have a big old chicken supper. Is that an official saying? Probably not, but let's go with it. Now, what I've basically done is broken down a kind of portfolio, like most people have done more recently, but I've kind of done it in a little bit of a different way. And whether you got $5,000 for this, or $50,000, or $500, or $50, or whatever it is, it's effectively the same, okay? You basically just need to work out your percentages and do it from there. Now, first of all, before we get into the kind of nuts and bolts while we're buying it, I just want to understand where we're going to buy it. Now, lots of people I know new in crypto get into Coinbase. Maybe you've been in for a while. Now, Coinbase is a good exchange, okay? It's very easy to use, but I hate it because it's expensive. I used it when I first got in, and you pay $10 and it's like 99 cents for fees. That means it's 10%. So you have to then make 10% back. Bitcoin needs to go up like $4,200 for you to be out back at break even. Okay, so Bitcoin nearly needs to go to 50K for you to make your $1 fee back if you've invested 10 bucks. Coinbase is not going to be the one for us because it's too expensive. So instead, because I'm a good bloke, I've left a link for MEXC down below. Now I use MEXC because the fees are extremely low, 0%. So you can make those trades instead of using 10% of your money for nothing. Okay, no brainer. Has like 4,000 different crypto coins. And yeah, the fees are extremely low. So like I do get a little commission, but God, you know, it's barely even worth it. Okay. But I want you to use this platform, guys, because it's so easy to use once you've figured it out. And it's so cheap. Okay. It's a no brainer. Now, another thing, you don't need KYC, which is know your customer. Now, given that you're all in different countries, lots of people are like, I'm in the US. It's really difficult for me to use. Okay. So what I've done is I've turned on my VPN as if I'm in the United States right now. Okay. Now I'll just cover this problem quickly. I know a lot of people don't want to cover this because maybe they know, so you can just skip ahead. And yeah, I will try to include chapters in this. I'm usually not very good at doing that, but just click on debit credit card. And you might be like, well, look, this is the warning, feature unavailable. Dear user, we're sorry that we can't provide you due to your restriction because you're in the US and US doesn't allow it or whatever. Go to a third party. Okay. Here's the third party. You can see that these are all trusted third-party payment solutions. Some of them might cost various different things. You can see it gives you the unit price on the right-hand side. Bankser seems to be the cheapest. I used it earlier, in fact, for OKX and actually put perfectly fine. I've used MoonPay before. That's even quicker than Bankser, okay? So you can sign up to these third-party apps. Then we don't need to provide KYC or Know Your Customer to MEXC, but we do need to provide it to the payment solution. That's very valuable because then we don't have to kind of declare maybe all the different trades and things we're making, depending on whether or not you think that's fine or not. I'll leave that for you to decide. We're all in different countries, okay? So just go with that. Once you've got your money in your account, you can see I now have my $5,002. I actually lied, $5,002 in this MEXC account. I'm going to click on spot. Now, what we're going to do, we got USDT here. Now, I've chosen $5,000 to work with here because why not? But if you've got $50 or $500 or $500,000, same principles apply, okay? If you're wishing to follow along, which I'm not saying you do because that would be like financial advice, and I'm by no means qualified to be a financial advisor. This is just me out there with my pocket money, building a portfolio that hopefully you guys will get some value in seeing how I do it. Now, as with any good portfolio, we know one thing. Bitcoin is pretty much destined to continue growing into the future. It grows because every time there's a bull market, more people are entering to the space. Bitcoin is the first place that lots of money arrives into, and that's where we like to see a lot of growth. So, like with any portfolio, good portfolio, we have to start with a little bit of a backbone of Bitcoin. Now, as I've mentioned, I'm a bit more risky and a bit more kind of like out there. Depending on your kind of tolerance for risk or whatever, I would say if you're more risk adverse, then stack the bigger coins, the bigger market cap coins more readily than the others. So for example, Bitcoin. Now let's just click here because we want to buy some Bitcoin. I'm going to click on trade and you're going to see it's going to say USDC, USDT. Click on that. Now I know that's not Bitcoin, but we're just going to write in this little box up here, BTC. And then this page I know looks damn confusing, right? So annoyingly, I should have bought like, 15, 20 minutes ago when it was down here. That would have been much better. Oh, actually, it's longer. Now, let's have a quick think. All these numbers on the left-hand side, this is like sales coming in, okay? People trying to sell the price of Bitcoin, and these are the quantities. And you'll see it's very liquid. There's lots of trades going on all the time, meaning these charts are moving around. And when we look at some later on, they won't be doing that. Now, we have two things here that say market and limit. This is really important, okay? I know a lot of people know this or not, but just let's understand something really important because this is going to help us to stop FOMOing in and stop, doing whatever else. If I click market, it means I have to accept the price that someone else is willing to sell it at, okay? So let's say that someone else has a load of apples and they want to sell their apples for £1 each. I come across and all right, here's £1 and I get one apple, okay? However, if you're like saying, well, I want to wait because I think there's going to be more apples entering the space soon and the price of apples will come down. I've got 90 pence or 90 cents for an apple. What I'm waiting for is the price of the apple to pull back and then my trade will automatically happen. That can make me a limit order. That is the preparing to make the price for someone to buy an apple at. So for example, if I thought the Bitcoin was going to go down to $42,000 and it did that, then I would just select $42,000. I would then select how much Bitcoin I would like to buy, and you can see how much it will cost me down the bottom. Okay, so this trade won't happen unless Bitcoin goes down to $42,000. You can see at the moment, Bitcoin's price is $43,300. Okay, does that make sense? Now that's a really cool tool to be able to not FOMO in. But just on this particular one, I'm just going to select market so we can see how this goes. Now, I want to go with 25% of that portfolio into Bitcoin, which is 1,250 US dollars. Then I'm just going to click here, buy Bitcoin. And then you can see order successfully has happened, open positions, and then we can see that Bitcoin is established down here. It's already happened, okay? Open order 0, it means the trade has already gone through. Okay, now the next coin I want to have in my portfolio is Ethereum. Why do I want Ethereum? Well, guys, because of this. Whether it's expensive or whatever's going on with Ethereum, it's crap, it's slow. There's loads of other like layer ones out there that promise to do this and promise to do that. But guys, Ethereum is still the daddy. The ecosystem is still enormous. It still has way more developers than anything else. It's still the chosen ecosystem that many developers want to build on. Ethereum is going to be enormous and potentially even flip Bitcoin in the next bull market. Potentially. Don't get upset. Hold back, okay? Relax those little keyboard fingers. But Ethereum, I think you need exposure, okay? Because in my opinion, it's going to at least see a fairly solid gain of around $10,000 to $15,000, possibly more. I think if it hits $10,000, current price is 2,200. That's basically a 4x, a little over a 4x, okay? Be pretty happy to take a 4x on 25% of my money. So I'm going to do the same, 25% of my money, which remember was $1,250. But for this one, we're going to go with a limit order. Now, this is a limit order. So what it means is if I drop the price of it, which I have, and I press buy Ethereum and I hit confirm, what this will do is I don't yet hold that Ethereum, right? That's really key because now it means I've not FOMO'd in. It means that if Ethereum gets back down to that price, I'm in the market, I'm ready to play. But if suddenly it rips away and whatever, then I'm not in the trade. That's not a bad thing. It stops me FOMOing in. It makes sure I buy in the right position. Now, I'm not showing you right this second the charts and why the charts are important. I'm just showing you kind of breaking down these different coins as we go, and I'll add little tidbits on for the different coins as we go through. Next one is Solana. And yes, it's a competitor to Ethereum, but something important happens at the end of bull markets, and that is the NFT season, where all the degenerates who have been like completely fueled up on sugar and dopamine from their kind of crazy bull markets get in and want to start trading electronic pictures of rocks and stuff for like millions of dollars. However, in the past bull market, that was all done on Ethereum through OpenSea. But then this is now flipping to Solana. Solana's ecosystem around the NFTs is growing crazily big, okay? It's pulling that market away from Ethereum. Solana also just partnered up with Shopify, who have around 10% of online sales volume through the US when it comes to e-com. Bearing in mind, Amazon is US based. That is enormous. They've also made huge partnerships recently with Visa, and they will continue to grow. And while they have seen a phenomenal year already, so it's sat around $70, I do think that Solana has its potential to maybe get up towards $1,000. At $1,000, that's a 10x. If it hits around $900, we're still getting our 10x. You know, I think a 10x is reasonable. I would potentially look to take profits on Solana from around $500 up, but we're still getting some good money. And if you're subscribed to my channel, I will start to tell you in the future when we're going to start taking profits and things like that. Now, I said that I was giving about 5% to Solana because I want to leave a little bit of room at the end of this video to add on to this. So $250 goes straight into Solana. We're going to hit buy right there. And you'll notice that I'm not getting overly involved in the charts, but be patient. I'll show you in the next one. I'm not telling you by any means right now to do what I'm doing and click through and follow and buy those coins straight away. I'm going to show you how to get even better entries on them. If you stick around, we'll do it on the next one. Now, I've covered a lot in this process, and there's a lot more that you need to learn, but it's like anything. If you want to be successful in this game, it's like a sport. You don't just kind of turn up to a basketball game or a football game and hope to be like the best player on the pitch without ever training or spending time playing that game. This is where you can kind of really absolutely change your opportunity scope forever, guys, by investing a little bit of time. And it's only got to be 30 minutes a day, an hour a day to maybe get involved in this. I know everyone's got different situations. It's just how much do you want it? You know, that's simply what it is. If you want it and you haven't got the time, then maybe, you know, you've got to think about maybe where you can cut back or whether or not this is for you, because otherwise it's a competitive game. You're just going to get beasted by other people. However, if you don't have much time, then I highly recommend that you go and check out this, which is our brand new membership tier. Now, for a while, we've had various different memberships ranging from the free Telegram, which is linked down below. You can check that out, to the Inner Circle Discord. And now we're bringing the next level. The way I've just walked you through this is what I'm going to be doing along with my business partner, also called Peter, who's been working in crypto for multiple years. We will be sitting on a weekly basis. We'll be taking people through live Q&A calls where we'll be taking them through building portfolios. We'll be taking them through how to research the next coin, sharing with them the exact coins that we're buying on a daily basis. And all that you can go across and find in the league, which is our new top tier membership. Now, this is like having someone who works in crypto the whole time walk you through various key processes in crypto, and bearing in mind what this market really has to offer. You're only one good buy or good purchase away from absolutely making life-changing gains, and we've seen it already taking place this year. So if you want to have a more personalized experience and you really maybe lack the time to do your own research all the time and you want an expert to come in and help you, then that's what you need to go across and get inside the league, guys. The link for that is down below in the description. Now, what's my next one? Chainlink, guys. Chainlink is an important one because it's linking real world assets via oracles to the blockchain. What the fuck does that mean? Now, guys, the blockchain is effectively being brought in as this like amazing piece of technology, but it doesn't really do anything or mean anything unless you can kind of utilize and connect it with the real world and what's happening out there. Now, there's so much data that's coming from the real world all the time, whether that be the weather, whether that be prices and indexes of gold and different commodities and whatever else. Chainlink, as we see a rise in the kind of onboarding of people into cryptocurrency, is going to be absolutely essential for this phenomenally important crypto project. In my opinion, that's why it's up here. Now, let's decide whether or not we want to buy Chainlink now, because we can go to a chart. Now, this is tradingview.com and it's free. You, if you like, can change the colors like me if you are pretty cool. Now, what we can do is go to Chainlink, which is looking like this, which is a rather messy thing. Now, on TradingView, you can see you can change the timeframes. What we can see is that Chainlink has been up quite aggressively more recently. Now, I know what it's like, guys. When the markets are moving, everyone's getting like, I need to get in right this second. And in fact, Chainlink actually looks like it's in an all right position. But here's a very happy, easy tool for you to follow. What we're looking for is these big candles, these big black ones. Now, these big black candles tell us where we've seen big buying pressure coming from. And you can see that we've currently come down towards this level and we've bounced in a very interesting area. I'm going to draw this green box across here just to tell you that every time we've kind of been falling into this area or below, we see buying pressure coming in, buying pressure coming in, buying pressure coming in. Tells me that this is an area that Chainlink might find bouncing or bounce into support. So do I want to buy up here? Probably not. So remember, now we are in an area that we could be potentially interested in. If we were up here and we said I wanted to buy in here, then simple, we just put in that limit order. Okay, so we get the trade gets utilized, executed at that price. Now, again, we're going to go with 250 bucks in Chainlink. You see, click link. USDT, and this is very straightforward. Hopefully, I'm just getting across to you. While this might seem like a complex thing to look at, it's easy enough to go with. Total price, I want to go with 250 USD. I want to set a limit order, total 250. And you'll see that if it hits this price, it will execute the order. I can confirm. And then we can see open orders. I've got link is currently open. And then you'll see it might fill up partial parts of it or all of it. You know, let's just wait and see what happens. But I'm just confident. I'm just wading through. And, you know, we're already down $3. Don't worry, okay? Just fine, right? A few dollars fluctuation either way. You know, we're in this for the longer haul. This is about building for the future. Now, where do I go next? Well, there's tons and tons of crypto out there, but I want to kind of explore the idea of some narratives. I want to understand which narratives might be worth paying attention to. And there are some great coins that I might not include in this video, guys. I understand that. So don't get upset if I didn't mention, you know, whatever coin it is. Avalanche, you know, should potentially be in here, but I kind of missed it. I'm coming across to Render Network. Okay, now Render Network, I think, sees great value into the future, particularly as we see the development of things like the Metaverse. We see the development of GameFi, development of movies, and all sorts of other bits and pieces. Now, Render Network is distributed GP rendering on the blockchain. I like Render Network because it does something very different from what anything else out there does. Rendering, like you're in a video game, you're walking around a video game, you can't see what's behind you, and that doesn't exist. So when I turn, that has to be rendered into reality. Does that make sense? So that all the, like, you know, the details or whatever of the computer game are visualized, are kind of being drawn out as I turn into that space. This is rendering. But it's an extremely demanding process, particularly when you think about stuff on the scale of the Metaverse, stuff on the scale of like these huge multiplayer video games that are getting more and more technical all the time. This Render Network outsources that, and that's an incredibly interesting and different thing. So Render Network gets a big in, as far as I'm concerned. Bigger market cap, you know, but still with a reasonable chance to see 15 to 20x growth if all goes to plan. 5%, thank you very much. Let's just crack in 5% into Render, and then I'm going to hit buy Render. Now into the next one, and we'll move into it a bit quicker because I know it's taking a long time. Now this is a project I covered the other day, and none of these projects are in any way sponsored or whatever I'm working with, okay? And in fact, I've just realized I've missed out ICP, and I would like to have some ICP in here, okay? But it's, you know, just imagine I've added ICP and I, you know, magically put in an extra few percent here and there, okay? ICP probably belongs in here because it's doing a really exciting thing. In my opinion, I'm betting on ICP being able to change the future of the internet as we know it. Now, this, however, is Seedify, which is a launch pad. We have had previous launch pads like DAOmaker do quite well. Seedify is much smaller, but has got a far better track record in terms of the new projects that are launching. Now, the way a launch pad works is that new crypto projects go out to find funding, and they also go out to find companies that can help them launch, create new tokens. Seedify does this. It incubates new projects, helping them to build little partnerships and various different bits and pieces, and at the same time helps them to raise money. Now, Seedify takes a portion of those companies, and when those companies do well, Seedify does extremely well. Seedify had a phenomenal last couple of years, bearing in mind that it is targeting quite heavily into the AI, Web3, gaming, and Metaverse sectors. Very key sectors that are going to see potentially a lot of growth into the future. That's why I like Seedify, and that's why it gets a big tick in the box from me. So we give it a 5%, and it's called S Fund. Now, again, you know, we would say, looking into a chart, that Seedify, in fact, looks damn good. When you look at it on a daily, it looks scary because it's already like been booming, not ideal. But what I like to see is this on a 4 hour. We've had a bit of a cool off, and then what you've started to see is the price taking a nice dip like that. Now what happens, this is called a bull flag typically, where you go up here and then we make a nice flag pattern. We do it like that, and eventually it will reach a point of interest. Maybe it gets rejected and comes a little lower, but eventually it will have a crack. Okay, so maybe it has a crack from here and does that, or maybe it goes a little bit lower. Now what we could do is, maybe if I want to put in my 5%, I have $125 for here. And then if it does get back down here, I can put in $125 more, which means that I bring my average price paid down to about here. Hope that makes sense. Okay, because I buy like a little bit here and a little bit here, and this is my average. Okay, but if you are like me and you're trying to force it all into a video that takes 20 to 30 minutes, but it's probably going to take longer, then you just have to buy at that kind of price, which is what we're going to do in this video for the purposes of entertainment, shall we say. So $250 in Seedify, and then we're just going to click on market, and then that's going to happen straight away. Yeah, mix it up between limit and market, but you know, you get the version of what, if this was me normally, guys, I would be a bit more patient. I would use limit, but you know, the video was me buying $5,000 worth of crypto, so I thought it'd be rude not to. Now, where to go next? Well, guys, there's a few niches out there that are going to dominate in this next bull market. And I've already told you that GameFi and AI are probably going to be a couple of those niches. Therefore, I want exposure to a larger gaming market cap coin, such as Gala. Now, Gala did phenomenally well in the last bull market because it was a very good, strong platform with loads of users who are actively playing the games, which is huge compared to a lot of other projects out there. However, there was a little bit of a disagreement, shall we say, between each of the co-founders trying to sue each other for taking some money, which was not pretty. That, fortunately, though, dragged the price down to a lower price for us and gives us an opportunity to maybe see a 20 to 25x in this crypto project. I like it because it's a platform with lots of different types of games. It's always building. They've just launched something called Gala Music. They have other different bits and pieces, all benefiting the ecosystem. Now, I would go into more depth on all of these guys, but you would literally be here till Christmas. So let's just get on with it. We're going to go with Gala. GameFi, going to be a beast because obviously everyone loves to play video games apparently, and the world is going to onboard into Web3 and cryptocurrency through gaming without even realizing they've done it. That's where gaming comes so big. $250 into Gala like that. Thank you very much. Let's go back down. You can see open positions. All these little open positions are all my trades that I've got going on right now. We come up to my wallet. Down, you can see $10, but that's okay. It's just fluctuating, guys. Don't worry, guys. You know, down $10, but we'll make it back during a full-blown bull market. What next? AI, I've already talked about. I'm going to go for Tau Bitenza. Okay, Bitenza. And we can see that has had another phenomenal kind of autumn, and obviously we would have loved to have got back in down there, but if we've missed out on that opportunity, then we're going to have to kind of have an opportunity to get in now. Now, obviously, if they've been doing well recently, we can always see pullbacks, but over the kind of longer period of time, for the next kind of year to 2 years, if we're not really sure, then we could see still some good growth. What we'd like to see is it has been pulling back into this kind of buy zone area here. We've put in this nice W pattern, which you can see, which is usually a very bullish sign. So right as we talk right this second, this might be a good buy for me to be getting into, and obviously it doesn't matter whether it's a good buy or not because right now I'm going to get into it anyway. Now, I like Bitenza because it's bringing AI functionality into a Web3 environment. It allows people to use their spare GPU power via the blockchain to be able to work towards AI processing power. This is very cool because as we move into the future, AI is going to become a bigger and bigger part of everyday life and various different computer systems. So wouldn't it be great if we could just all share our GPU power together, kind of like Render does, but you know, with AI computing power. Bitenza, definitely cool, building some good projects on top of Bitenza, which I also like. So again, I'm going to crack in $250. Now, it's important to keep yourself $1,000 or $500 in this particular level to be able to invest. And what do I mean by this level? Like, for example, if I had $50, then maybe I'm keeping $5 or $10 back. And that's why, you know, we're using these cheap exchanges like MEXC, and then I can fire it in on the next best opportunity, the next best thing I heard. And also this, if, let's say I have just bought $250 in Tau Bitenza. Now, if this particular project absolutely craps the bread and dumps down here for whatever reason, because, you know, Bitcoin's, you know, whatever's gone approved or not got approved or whatever it is, or some, you know, dramatic story that doesn't really matter that apparently drives the markets, then I've got the opportunity to be able to get in and DCA at this point, okay? If, however, you get like kind of more cash flow and you kind of have more cash flow coming in all the time, then maybe you can play this slightly differently. This is very much down to you. But also on a day-to-day basis, I recommend that you go across and get involved following me on Twitter, and you also follow me on YouTube, because every day I'm making videos where I'll share with you various small cap coins. And wouldn't it be nice that maybe now and then you have the opportunity to be able to have a little flutter and get involved in one of those small cap projects. Now, I'm not saying that you should just invest in a coin that I talk about, but there will be new and exciting projects that come up all the time during this bull market that we want to keep a bit of money on the side for. Now, one, for example, that I'm pretty keen on is OLAS, or Auto NOLAS. And as you can see, it is not on MEXC. Damn it. So what do? Well, we can go here and we can search for the token, which I was just talking about. Now, guys, I'm not telling you to buy this either, okay? This is just an example of a smaller cap coin that I might be interested in buying. Here we can see we've got Auto NOLAS, okay? It's a AI crypto project. Very cool, but I'm not going to go into depth describing it because we are literally running out of time, and I've absolutely beasted you today with a very lengthy video. But we can go down below on CoinMarketCap, and I can see exchanges that it's available on. If I click on Uniswap, that will take me across to Uniswap. It's a decentralized exchange. It means you have to use your MetaMask wallet and connect your MetaMask wallet to Uniswap, which is a very straightforward and simple process, and perhaps one for another day. Or if you don't want to stick with me for longer, you can just go to YouTube and just search for Uniswap and learn how to use the exchange. It's very easy, very straightforward. Anyone can do it. There's a few other coins that are capturing people's attention more recently. You got Hello Token, which is a very interesting project that's basically going to build around TVFi, has the potential to see big growth in the future because it's got a small market cap right now. This remaining kind of 20%, which should in theory probably be around 10%, but my math didn't quite work out, is for keeping on the sidelines. And when you hear about a really cool project, going and researching that project, and then you've got some money to invest in it. But I'm saying that you divide that last, in my case, $1,000 up. So for example, you take like here, we can go Hello. Say I've suddenly learned about Hello and I'm like, wow, that sounds really cool. And I can stick in, you know, like $100 here. Okay. And then I've got 10 tokens that have the opportunity to maybe do like a 20x, a 50x, whatever it is down the line, but they might not perform very well at all. The reason we stack the kind of the bigger coins, the chain links, the Ethereums, the Bitcoins, is we know almost with certainty that these coins are going to have good, strong bull markets. With Hello Token, we might see an incredible run. We might not see anything. Okay, so that's why you keep smaller portions aside. We be less greedy because overall, this is where we're going to see the best future potential. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll be sharing with you more coins over the weeks, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel and I will keep you up to date with everything I've talked about. The MEXC link and everything down below. Have a good one, guys. See you tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.